Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Martin, the Associate Director of Forecasting at Dodge Construction Network, and today we'll look at June's DMI. Now, as a reminder, the Dodge Momentum Index tracks the value of non-residential building projects as they enter their earliest stages of planning. We only include projects under $500 million, and we exclude manufacturing and transportation projects. Overall, this index tends to lead construction spending by about 12 to 18 months. So the Dodge Momentum Index grew 6.8% in June to a reading of 225.1 from the downwardly revised May reading of 210.9. Over the month, commercial planning grew 7.3%, while institutional planning improved 5.7%. So a lot of this month's gain can be attributed to specific sectors seeing a lot of growth. Here we have our typical breakout of commercial and institutional planning. And you can see on the left here, we've shown you the commercial index, but also what it looks like without data centers. And that portion of the index saw some pretty strong growth this month, and a lot of that can be attributed to warehouses really picking up. Data center planning activity remained robust. It didn't necessarily accelerate from last month's levels, but levels remain really high overall. On the institutional side, large recreational projects propped up the month-over-month gains that we saw there. Healthcare planning momentum also continued to accelerate. That sector has been growing in recent months and saw another 6% gain month-over-month in June. Overall, the DMI was up 20% when compared to year-ago levels. The commercial segment was up 11% from June of 2024. And the institutional segment was up 46% after a pretty weak June last year. If all data center projects between 2023 and 2025 were excluded, commercial planning would be up 12% from year-ago levels, and the entire DMI would be up 23%. So overall, non-residential planning did steadily improve in June, again, alongside that strength in warehouse, recreational, and data center planning. Planning momentum in other key sectors like education, hotels, and retail stores was much more subdued. I think a lot of that can be kind of correlated to weaker expectations in terms of consumer spending, travel demand, and then, of course, continued uncertainty around federal funding, public funding, and, just monetary and fiscal policies coming down the pike. So that could be contributing to some weaker momentum for those projects in particular, whereas, again, a lot of this overall aggregate strength can be correlated to warehouses and data centers, and then some of those recreational projects this month as well. And that about wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching.